Hey guys, Mr. Lloyd here. Going to work with you on today, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And we'll be working on this page here. It says math. It's right here in the middle of the page. So this new packet has everything organized by day. So like day 1, it says day 1, May 4th, and then it's got your reading and your writing activities. Today was reading a little bit, and then I know there was a poem writing activity associated with it. So in this new packet, all of your information is organized by day, which kind of helps a little bit. And so on this first part of this page, it's like the other packet in that much of this, if you look at my cursor here, most of this is just instruction. This would be the kinds of, this would be sort of me standing in front of the class and explaining to you guys the importance of the term histogram and what it means and how we make sense of it and so forth. I'm going to assume that you've read that. I'm not going to reread it here on this video, but I'm going to help you work through this first part where we're trying to finish some words here. So data can be organized and displayed in a variety of ways, including bar graphs, pictographs, tally charts, tables, line graphs, line plots, and frequency tables. Okay, so your job as a student was just to fill in the missing letters here, kind of finish off these words. Pretty straightforward here. And what we're going to be working on today is histograms. We're going to do a page where we read and decipher histograms, and then we'll do a page where we we take a data table and we turn a data table into histogram. So that's kind of a nice little activity. Histogram, another way to think about it, is just a bar chart or a bar. It's like a certain kind of bar graph, kind of a special one where we're working with particular intervals. On this video, what I'm just going to show you here for the rest of this video is just my answers to our challenge questions. So there's there's one on this page and 2 on the other page. So I'll get you through this one. Histograms are sometimes called pictorial displays. Why do you think a histogram is called a pictorial display? And so it's really just asking you what we thought about when we were creating this question is to help you think about the purpose of histograms and all these other display tools. And really the point of any of these bar graphs, any of these tally charts, dot plots, etc., the whole point of them is to help us see data graphed out into a nice, oftentimes color-coded form. And so we do that so that our brains can make better sense of what we're looking at, so we can understand the data that we are looking at. Because sometimes when we look at data, as we'll see in the next video, the data can be organized the data can come to us very disorganized, and it's our job as good math thinkers to make sense of it by putting it in order, by putting it like smallest to largest, or by creating a graph that shows you really quickly, your eyeballs can really quickly see which group is higher, which group is lower. If you were doing some like survey data about, do you prefer cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza, we graph it, we look at whichever bar is higher, whichever bar is lower, and we can quickly say cheese is the winner or pepperoni was more popular, whatever. But we can do that very quickly using these graphs. So the point is that it's visually appealing and it makes sense for our brain. And then part B here for our challenge problem was just asking you to compare dot plots and histograms, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of each. So just a simple little compare and contrast question. So I use blue for my answers about dot plots and green for histograms, just to keep it a little bit separate here to be visually appealing, as I talked about earlier. So there are different ways to display frequency or survey data, and to compare and contrast. So dot plots work well. I'm trying to let that little menu item go away here, and then I'll read what I had written there. Dot plots work well for data that have a small range. In other words, like the range is the data the value between the lowest data and the highest data. And so we were looking at dot plots work well for really small ranges. Histograms work much better for larger ranges. And so really, like, think about it like this. A dot plot would work well if we're in the classroom and we're doing a survey about, do you prefer cats to dogs? Or list your favorite pet, and we give you 3 or 4 choices like cats, dogs, turtles, birds, whatever. And the reason a dot plot would work well for that is because in our classroom we have 20 students. So we have a really small group, and we can just quickly we can see all of our preferences listed on that dot plot. However, there are times where we want to take information from much larger groups than a classroom. We might want to take data from the entire city. And, you know, there's 60,000 people in our city, so a dot plot really wouldn't work well. Can you imagine 60,000 dots? I mean, think about how gigantic your paper would have to be. It would be kind of a crazy thing. So we had to create a new tool for that, and that's where like a graph like a histogram or a bar graph or maybe a line graph, depending on what we're looking at. But there'd be other tools that would work better. And in this case, comparing dot plots and histogram, a histogram would work much better for a survey of a big city, or a state or a country or that kind of thing. So it's really just about, you know, using the right math tool for the right data set. And then find one example of each of the data displays: bar graphs, pictographs, tally charts, and so on. I'll let you guys do that. You can just use your internet resources. If you type these into your search bar, you can find lots of examples. You can go on to IXL and find lots of examples. You could also go on to Khan Academy and find lots of examples, but I know you know how to find those, so I won't just show you a whole bunch for right now. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for this video. I'll be posting the next video very shortly. Thank you for watching these videos. Please continue to ask these questions. You can do it through the YouTube comments, through text message, Remind app, email, phone call. Come leave a post-it note on my door. However we need to get a hold of each other, we'll make it happen. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.